This is why I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life as soon as I wake up is literally just me putting down a credit card, and it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you gonna have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh really? Well, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where like I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive. You know, like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy, and then all of a sudden I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe. But even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
The cost of living in the United States has been steadily rising, and for many Americans, it's becoming harder to keep up. From housing and groceries to healthcare and education, the price of basic necessities continues to climb, while wages often lag behind. Housing is one of the most significant burdens. Home prices and rent have surged in recent years, especially in urban areas. Many cities have seen double-digit increases in rent, pricing out even middle-income families. The demand for housing far outpaces supply, and interest rates, although fluctuating, remain high enough to make mortgages more expensive. Groceries and everyday items have also seen a jump due to inflation and supply chain issues. Even though inflation has cooled somewhat compared to its peak, prices haven't returned to pre-pandemic levels. For example, the cost of eggs, meat, and other staples remains elevated, making it harder for families to budget for food. Healthcare costs are another major stressor. Insurance premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket costs are increasing. Many Americans either can't afford adequate insurance or face huge bills even with coverage. Meanwhile, prescription drug prices continue to soar with little regulation. Education and childcare expenses are through the roof. College tuition is climbing, leaving students with record levels of debt. Parents face childcare costs that, in some areas, rival mortgage payments. While some workers have seen wage increases, they're often not enough to offset these growing expenses. The result is that even people with steady jobs are struggling to maintain the same quality of life they had just a few years ago. The rising cost of living is forcing tough choices, skipping medical care, delaying home ownership, taking on more debt, or working multiple jobs. It's not just about money, it's about stress, health, and the future. As costs continue to rise, the American dream is starting to feel out of reach for many.
We are all aware of the fact that the cost of living in California is astronomically high. But for those of you who grocery shop on a weekly basis for a family of, say, like 3 to 4, what is your average grocery bill? Because for a family of 3, we are spending on average between $300 to $350 a week on groceries. That is over $1,200 a month we are spending on groceries. Granted, I do try to shop mostly organic. I buy whole foods. I try to go as unprocessed as possible. And my son and my boyfriend are human garbage disposals, so they eat a ton of food. But I still feel like that is so ridiculous. And I'm at the point where I'm wondering if it's even worth it to grocery shop, or would it be more cost effective to just eat out every day? That is a ridiculously high amount to pay on just groceries alone. And yes, it's mostly organic and whole foods, but we've been grocery shopping the same way for the past several months. And my grocery bill is getting higher and higher every month. And I'm always buying the same shit. So, yeah, I'm like, why am I spending all this money and time grocery shopping, cleaning up, cooking, when we can just treat ourselves every day? Am I right? Like, I love California though. I'm still not moving. I'm just saying.
This growing affordability crisis is reshaping how people live and what they expect from the future. Young adults are delaying major life milestones like marriage, starting families, or buying homes, not by choice, but by necessity. Many are moving back in with parents or crowding into shared living spaces just to stay afloat. In some regions, even professionals with good-paying jobs are struggling. Teachers, nurses, and first responders, people once considered the backbone of a stable middle class, are being priced out of the very communities they serve. This not only affects their lives, but also weakens the social fabric of neighborhoods and cities. Rural and suburban areas are also feeling the strain. While they may offer cheaper housing, they often lack access to high-paying jobs, public transportation, and essential services, making life there more complicated and expensive in different ways. Gas prices and vehicle maintenance become key burdens in areas where driving is a necessity. Government programs like food stamps, housing vouchers, and healthcare subsidies help some, but they often fall short or are difficult to access. Meanwhile, political debate continues over how to tackle these issues, whether through raising the minimum wage, controlling rent increases, reforming healthcare, or investing in affordable housing. People are adapting in creative ways, starting side hustles, moving to lower-cost states, or embracing minimalist lifestyles. But these are often stopgap solutions. Without broader systemic changes, the gap between what people earn and what life costs will continue to widen. The question now isn't just whether people can afford to live comfortably, it's whether they can afford to live at all.
If you live on the West Coast, I have a question for you, and my question is real simple. Are y'all okay? Because your cost of living is like literally dystopian. And I'm from here. We moved away. Grew up in Southern Oregon, Northern California, and I'm aware that like our cost of living has always been a little bit higher than other places, especially fuel. But I'm telling you right now, your cost of living is literally diabolical. There were some places that I was in Northern California, fuel was well over $5 a gallon, just regular schmegular gas, well over $5 a gallon. In Texas, where I'm at, it fluctuates all the time, but it fluctuates between about $2.40 a gallon and like $2.90. That's the fluctuation. You're paying double what we're paying. Not only that, it's not just fuel. I went to Starbucks. My Starbucks drink, it's very simple. It's a venti vanilla chai latte. In Texas, where I'm from, it's $7, which in my opinion is too expensive. I don't get it very often. Here, it was over $10 for a drink. How are y'all surviving? How are you doing this?
Hi guys, I'm really stressed today. I just went to the grocery store, bought 10 items, and it was $80 freaking already. I literally have $10 left on my account. The fuck? So a little backstory. I got laid off from my job a month ago. And I've been applying for jobs months before I got laid off. Sent out hundreds of resumes already. Applied to hundreds of jobs on the internet, remote and on-site. Tailored my resume to every position that I applied using ChatGPT. Went to only a few interviews. And still nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on with America right now? Like, it's so freaking hard to live here. Like, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep applying for jobs. I'm gonna keep showing up. But man, my bills are not going to wait.
Because honestly, how are we all surviving out there? I've been out of the US for about a year, and holy hell, have prices increased in the past year. Literally everything across the board has increased. My little studio Airbnb is almost $3,000 a month. I'm renting this car from Turo. It's a Toyota Camry. It's nothing special, for $1,000 a month. Don't even get me started on my medical bills. For me to have labs done in Bali, it was only $14. For me to have labs done in the US as a cash patient, I don't have health insurance, is almost $1,500 for those exact same tests. What are we doing out here? Like, how are things so expensive in the US when compared to other countries around the world. Y'all, I know you guys get pissed off that I say this, but I am adamant that it is so much cheaper to live abroad than it is to struggle living paycheck to paycheck in the US as an American.
In the end, the rising cost of living isn't just a number on a receipt. It's the silent thief stealing peace of mind, emptying wallets, and making the American dream feel more like a bedtime story. From skipping dinners out to sweating over rent, people across the country are feeling the squeeze. And unless something changes, that squeeze could turn into a chokehold. At Orbit Point, we dig into the hard truths with heart and a little flair, because staying informed shouldn't be boring. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we unpack the world, one real talk at a time.